The question of what kinds or types or categories of damages you can recover if you've been injured through someone else's negligence and you have a personal injury claim comes up frequently in our practice, and I'm going to list some of those. First and foremost, your medical bills. So the cost of going to a doctor, going to the hospital, the ambulance ride to the hospital, surgeries, any sort of physical therapy, chiropractic treatments, those are all covered in your personal injury claim. Also covered are future medical expenses. So if somehow your claim or case is resolved before you've finished all your treatment, your future medical expenses can be covered. So if a doctor says, well, you're going to need surgery, maybe you're going to need a new knee or a hip replacement, but you haven't had it yet, you can still recover the cost of that future knee surgery or hip surgery. So that's the first thing, your past and future medical expenses that you can recover. You can also recover lost wages. So if you get in an accident and because of your injuries, your doctor takes you off work for a couple of weeks, you can recover the costs or your lost wages for those several weeks. Sometimes you may be off work for a longer period of time than that. And if you're off work for a longer period of time, we calculate your wage loss throughout the entire period you're off work, and you can recover damages for that. Sometimes there'll be future wage loss. So for example, your doctor may say you can return to work, but in the future you're going to have to take time off work to have a surgery and potentially have some physical therapy to recover from that surgery. We can calculate how much time you'll be off work, how much you'll lose in wages, and you're entitled to recover that. And another thing a lot of people don't understand is even though you may have time loss at work, in other words, you might have sick time at work that you use, you can still recover that time that you missed through someone else's negligence. The theory being that your sick leave is something that you've earned and you shouldn't have to spend it down because of someone else's negligence. So you can recover both past and future wage loss. The other item of damage you can recover are general damages, and that's money compensation for the pain, the discomfort you've had as a result of your injuries, the pain and discomfort you've had in the past, and what you might have in the future as a result of your injuries. The inconvenience it's created in your life, and the mental anguish. Sometimes people are involved in accidents and suffer PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. You can recover damages for that. You can also recover damages for lost ability to make a living. So let's suppose you're a carpenter and you suffer an injury to your right hand that doesn't completely prevent you from working, but perhaps it keeps you from making the same kind of living you used to make as a carpenter because you're not as efficient, you can't work as well as a carpenter. You can make a recovery for that as well. So if there's been some impairment in your ability to make a living, you can make a recovery, even though you may not have been employed at the time of your injury. So that, I think, sums up really the damages you can recover for personal injury.